Welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel and today I'm going to be sharing with you a brand new collection from Painted Polish. This is a 6-piece collection that features earthy, neutrally bases with gold and black flakies in them. And after we take a look at this new collection, we'll also take a look at their newest mystery Crelly at the end. These are currently available to purchase, so in the description box you'll find links to Painted Polish's site and their social media. All right, we have 7 beautiful shades to look at today, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. We're going to start off with Brownstone Bliss. This warm autumn shade features gold, silver, and black metallic flakies in a redwood brown Crelly base. This one had a beautiful formula, definitely has a Crelly base. You can see it's pretty saturated and opaque on that first coat. You also get a lot of those flakies out, but that second coat did put it at full opacity for me, and there were so many gorgeous metallic flakies on the nail. I do think everyone's going to get this fully opaque in 2 coats. Maybe super long nails will need a third, but here are what 2 coats look like on me with a glossy top coat. Those flakies lay really flat in this polish, so I don't think a glitter smoother is necessary for these. It will help plump them up extra much though, but there's no texture when this dries down. And then here is what it looks like in some lower natural indoor lighting. I'm near a window. And just a little bit lighter, we have Totally Terracotta. And I've got to read the full description for this one because it is cracking me up. It says she's earthy, spicy, and everything nicey. I don't know why that tickles me. Okay, this one, it says this seasonal shade features gold, silver, and black metallic flakies in a medium terracotta Crelly base. This one also had a great formula, very pigmented, for Crelly on that first coat, smooth, even, great coverage, and then built up to full opacity for me in just 2 coats. Really long nail lengths. Maybe you'd need 3, but I think most people will be good in 2. And again, those flakies dry down really nice and flat on the nails, so I would say only a glossy top coat is necessary. This is 2 coats with a glossy top coat. I realize it's pretty close in base color to Brownstone Bliss, as well as the next shade we're going to look at. So at the end of the video, before we look at this month's Mystery Crelly, I'll show you a comparison of all the shades from this collection side by side on a swatch wheel so you can see how they vary. And then this is 2 coats in some natural indoor lighting. If I had to describe them to you now, Brownstone Bliss is more brown, and then Terracotta has more of like a corally orange kind of feel. Next up, we have Peachy Pumice. This one is described as featuring gold, silver, and black metallic flakes in a peachy coral Crelly base. So again, great formula, fully opaque in 2 coats. I feel like I sound like a broken record, but honestly, these were such a joy to swatch. And because the formula is so wonderful, I see myself reaching for these a lot more often. I love my Painted Polish Crellys. They just are consistently 2 coaters, and I don't have a whole lot of time to paint my nails anymore for me. I'm usually in a rush to do it, and so I love having a fun 2 coater in my collection. They're just so fast and so easy. So this is 2 coats of Peachy Pumice. It is more peachy and more pinky leaning than the past 2 we've looked at. Brownstone and Totally Terracotta have more of like a brown and more of like a red lean to them. And this one is like kind of sits happily in between like the orange and pink family. It is absolutely like a peachy coral color. Up next, we have Cozy Quartz. This one's described as featuring gold, silver, and black metallic flakies in a pale Tuscany Crelly base. So this one has a significantly lighter base color, and as a result, I can see people who have really long nails needing a 3rd coat for this shade. However, I was very happy with this in 2. I had full opacity, and they were 2 relatively thin coats. I had full opacity in 2 coats, no visible nail line whatsoever, And those of you who have watched my video before know that my visible nail line shows up all the time. It is very prominent. So I think it speaks volumes that these were fully opaque for me in just a couple coats. This one actually took me by surprise. I thought, since it's the most like tan, like light, kind of beigey neutral, that's just not a color I reach for often. I didn't think I would like this on me, but I really did. This whole collection is so fabulous for people who love neutral polish or need office appropriate colors to wear, but want something fun. And occasionally I find myself needing a neutral, and these are fabulous for that. This one especially. And next we have Blushing Boulder. This one's described as being a charming pink shade featuring gold, silver, and black metallic flakies in a rose blush Crelly base. So this one had the same great formula as all of them. It leaned, I guess, more towards the Quartz shade we just looked at, and that I can see really long nails needing a third coat since this shade is lighter, but I think, again, everyone will reach full opacity probably in 2. The sun came out for this shade, so we can see the 2 coats with a glossy top coat here with a little bit of sunshine on them. This base color is really intriguing. It definitely has like brown undertones. It's like a nude leaning pinky brown. And then here is what it looks like in some indirect lighting indoors near a window. And then the final shade before we look at the comparisons and then the mystery Crelly for this month is Mauvelous Marble. It's described as featuring gold, silver, and black metallic flakes in a light opera mauve Crelly base. I don't know what that means. Sounds really fancy though. This is a really beautiful, dainty, pretty... Can you tell which one's my favorite? Really pretty shade of purple. I found it to be extremely flattering on my nails. However, in 2 coats, I didn't feel like I got full opacity with this one. I'm showing it here in 2 coats, and I feel like I can see just a little bit of my nail peeking through. I don't feel like the color popped as well in 2 coats as it did in the bottle. So here's what it looks like in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. This is the only shade I would recommend at 3 coats for everyone. Again, I love that cool base color there. It's so pretty. This is a gorgeous shade. And here is a look at the entire collection. From left to right, we have Brownstone Bliss, Totally Terracotta, Peachy Pumice, Cozy Quartz, Blushing Boulder, and then Mauvelous Marble at the end. This is your official spoiler warning for this month's Mystery Crelly. If you want it to remain a mystery, you will not want to watch my next swatch. So this is Mystery Crelly Vignt-Huit, and it is described as featuring cobalt blue, emerald green, and gold metallic flakes in an ochre Crelly base. It's inspired by vines of pumpkins glowing in the autumn moonlight. This had a great formula. It was really opaque on the first coat, fully opaque in 2 coats, and I cannot imagine anyone needing a 3rd coat for this shade. I also felt like for a yellow, which I know yellows have made tremendous improvement over the years, but for a yellow, wow. Cannot ask for a more perfect formula. So this one was fully opaque in 2 coats. Here's what it looks like with a glossy top coat. The flaky blend in here, out of this world. I especially loved the green flakes. Oh my gosh, I need more of those in my life. They just had such a beautiful glow, and they popped really, really well against that ochre base. Yeah, this is stunning. So that was Painted Polish's newest collection. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. I'm someone who loves like dark, broody, or super saturated bright colors. So when I initially unboxed these, I was a little bit hesitant, a little unsure, but I actually love them on my nails. I'm not surprised because if you've used Painted Polish's formulas before, you know they always are consistently 2 coaters. They just apply so evenly and smoothly, and I love the mix of flakies that they use regardless of the base color. That being said, there was one major standout for me this time. It is Mauvelous Marble. I love the name, but I really love that light, soft, purpley base. I just thought it was so whimsical and playful and fun. I thought it looked so great against my skin tone. It really gave me that pop. And yeah, this was the one I kept like finding my mind gravitating towards. But in general, I think this collection is so perfectly suited for people who have to wear like office appropriate shades or anyone who's just looking for an amped up fun neutral. Again, let me know your thoughts and your favorites down in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!